Yo yo yo, as you probably know, we are playing in the Krakow Chess Festival, and it was round number 4. The tournament is going very bad for me. You know, I'm super sad with my performance, but let me show you my game. We played the Sicilian Dragon. I think it's the opening that I have the most experience with, and I'm feeling the most comfortable with, especially in the Marazzi pawn structure, which is pushing e4 and d4. This creates very strong center, right? But there's only one issue with this, and it's that black is actually weakening the dark squares, especially the d4 square, and that's where black will want to counterattack. So let me show you how the game goes. I decide to play bishop d7, which is my favorite variation, just putting the bishop here, looking at e4, and also restricting the knight. The knight cannot go anywhere without risking an exchange from the bishop. Okay, now a5. Why? I was looking at it. Rook to c8. Obviously he cannot take because I'm gonna play b6 and I'm gonna trap his bishop, right? And I'm gonna play queen to c7 next and queen to a7. He cannot really defend it. But I was thinking, if he goes rook to c8, why doesn't he go pawn to b4, right? And I was like, this doesn't look good. I want to play here. I want to gain space on the queen side, so I didn't want to allow it. So I played a5 immediately, gaining some space, and maybe in the future try to rip the pawn structure and try to counterattack, coexist, make this bishop work with this pawn together, maybe push to a3 and then look at b2. You know, you make your pieces work together in chess. So I played queen c7 and I saw bishop h6, but I didn't know what to do after knight to b5, because if I exchange, the queen is hanging, right? And the rook is attacked, but it doesn't matter because if I move it, he can move. And if I take with a tempo, he can move the rook with a tempo. And for me, this position is actually better for black. In my opinion, this position is obviously better for white. But maybe, you know what? I don't know why. I would say it's better for white. Okay, it's equal. Right. I just didn't like it because, allowing him to destroy my pawn structure. So for example, I play rook to c8, he trades and does something like this. I just didn't like it. I didn't go for it, to be honest. Now that I'm looking at the position, it doesn't look that bad. Okay, so in the game, I went rook fc8, pretty standard move. Looking at the c2 queen, and two rooks are ready to play on the queen side. The only downside, there are some motives of forks of the knight, but nothing can happen here. So I play knight to d7. I'm exchanging the bishop. Why? Because now, actually, yes, those squares are weak, but those squares are also weak, and you know what? They are more important because they are in the middle of the chessboard. So I decide to play king g8, just to avoid any checks. And I didn't want to take this because I'm like, man, he's gonna look at my e7 pawn, then my rook. He's gonna have simple rook to e3, rook h3 ideas. He's gonna have simple f5 and breaking my pawn structure and my king ideas. I did not like it. So I played queen to d8 with idea of just kicking the knight out. For me, it's just the simplest idea. And queen b6. He should have exchanged, but he didn't. He didn't exchange. So I decided, I didn't expect rook a1. I thought he's gonna exchange for real. Did not calculate any other moves besides rook to e3. Okay, so immediately I'm gaining some space on the queen side again, pushing my queen, attacking the weakness, and a4 is the idea. So a4. Oh, suddenly the rook gets very active. So I had AB, rook A2, queen D4 again. I did not think of this move. I thought he's gonna go queen E3. But okay, queen to D4 with idea of queen C3. But man, look at your king. You played F4. I'm gonna give you a check. I decided to play king to F1 because this allowed queen to F2, rook F1 and queen to E3, so just total infiltration. But here queen to E3, I thought that's actually gonna like equalize the position or even make me lose because... Wait, what? What did I think? Oh yeah, that's what I played, sorry man. So what? Oh, okay, never mind. So I thought that he's gonna go queen to E3. After queen to E3, he's gonna go like this and attack my queen, attack my rook. But he played king to F1. I messed up completely. It was a good move here. And he played queen to D4. Needed to exchange. And I've posted a video on how I beat a woman grandmaster in the Sicilian Dragon with the same idea. The knight goes on c5 and this is an amazing piece. Now the knight is defending the bishop, so I'm trying to deflect the knight and make it stop defending the bishop, right? But my opponent can take the bishop as well, so I take. And yes, 2 rooks on the second file. Usually when you allow your opponent to do that, it's game over, because I can destroy anything that is here, and I can create checkmate threats, I can give constant checks. It's not looking the best, so here I just take, he needs to defend, I play h5, he moves away, I attack it again, and he surrenders, because after he goes knight to d6, oh wait, funny thing, he offered me a draw here, right there, he offered me a draw, in a position that is minus 3.9, I would say it's even worse, but okay, h5, knight f6, 98, so what's going on? If he goes here, rook to f2, checkmate. If he tries to defend, I probably give a check, I go here, and I take. And then I take on e4. Okay, let me show you. Knight e4. Let's say he does something like this. I have rook e2 here, and again knight to d2. So, you see, another checkmate motive. Like the queen gets trapped, and the knight is giving the final check. He needs to take, and I take. I guess I'm gonna win this game, even in my current form. I'm gonna win a game with a rook up anyway. Wish me good luck tomorrow.